The story kicks off with us seeing some people being brutally tortured. One guy pours boiling water all over their bodies, which makes their skin peel off. They burn some people alive, and others are drowned for hours. A priest named Cristoval Ferreira was one of the folks forced to watch all this torture. It was because of him that all these people converted to Christianity, and now they were being punished for it. The year was 1663, a time when the Japanese didn't let any religion spread in their country, and anyone who tried to change their religion was put to death. Some people are told to trample on a picture of Jesus Christ. The ones who did were spared, but those who didn't were tortured badly and then killed. A few years later, we meet two more priests who were students of Cristoval Ferreira. An Italian priest shows them a letter that Ferreira sent from Japan. Reading it, they find out that Ferreira had changed his religion in Japan, converting from Christian to Buddhist. They couldn't believe it because Ferreira was a man who would have died for Jesus. He'd never lose his faith. They wanted to go to Japan to meet him, but the Italian priest wouldn't let them. He says that place is super dangerous for Christians. If you two go there, the same thing will happen to you that happened to Father Ferreira. But despite this, the two of them insist on going. After that, the priest agrees. The next day, the two of them go to a Chinese guy who will take them to Japan illegally. To show them the way, they also take a Japanese man with them. This man's name is Kichijiro, and the Japanese people had burned his family alive for converting to Christianity. After many days of travel, the three of them reach Japan. Kichijiro gets into the water and tells them to follow him quietly. While following him, Kichijiro suddenly disappears. They think he double-crossed them, but that wasn't the case. After a while, some Japanese people with torches come to them and tell them they're in Japan. They say, "This place isn't safe for you guys. We need to get out of here before they see us." After that, Sebastião and Francisco follow them quietly. An old man tells them that more Christians are being killed now than ever before. That's why they have to stay hidden. They felt like Jesus had heard their prayers and sent these priests to help them. One of them, Sebastião, sees that these people are really scared. He asks them how they've kept Jesus alive inside them in such great danger. The villagers tell him that they pray in secret and hide everything related to Jesus before the authorities come. For example, they had hidden a picture under a mat. Sebastião finds out that a person who gives information about a Christian gets 100 silver coins as a reward, and a person who gives information about a priest gets 300 silver coins. Sebastião says, "We need to go to other villages too. They should also know that we're here." He also asks them about Father Ferreira, but no one in the village knew anything about him. The next day, the villagers take the two of them to a hut where there was a secret chamber. They tell Sebastião and Francisco, "Only open the door when we knock twice. Other than that, no matter what happens outside, you guys don't come out." Now Sebastião and Francisco stay hidden inside for many days, and slowly, Francisco starts losing his patience. He says angrily, "These people are so scared. Fear has eaten them up inside, and we don't even know if Ferreira is alive or not. No one here has even heard his name." But Sebastião explains to him that these people have no one but them. If we don't stand with these people, they'll lose their faith in Jesus. He tells Kichijiro to go to Nagasaki to find out about Ferreira, but Francisco tells him, "We can't trust that drunkard. We haven't even seen him again since he brought us here." In this way, many days pass as they hide. Then one day, Francisco gets frustrated and goes outside, and the two of them lie down under the open sky. While they're sunbathing, Francisco spots some people who had seen them. After that, they run and hide inside right away and don't come out all day out of fear. In the evening, they hear some people's voices outside who are asking them to come out, but those people hadn't knocked on the door to give the signal yet. Because of this, the two priests don't come out. Now Sebastião thinks maybe they are from another village. That's why he goes outside, even though Francisco tried hard to stop him, and he stops them before they leave. They see that they really needed help. Sebastião cleans their blistered feet and prays to God for their safety. They say that they found out about the priest from Kichijiro. He's a Christian like them too. Sebastião and Francisco thought he wasn't a Christian, but those people tell them that's not true. 8 years ago, he was a Christian too. His whole family was caught by the people here, and they were told to insult Jesus in front of everyone. First, Kichijiro saved his own life by stepping on the picture of Jesus. But his wife and his entire family didn't do that. Because of this, they were burned alive right in front of his eyes. Knowing all this, the priests feel very bad about Kichijiro. The next day, they wanted to go to every village and encourage the other Christians. But the chief of the village they were in, Mokichi, stops them from going there. He says that their lives would be in danger there. But despite this, Sebastião decides to go there, and Francisco stays behind to support these people. The next day, Sebastião goes to their village, where he also finds Kichijiro. Everyone welcomes him, and Sebastião sees that the people here hadn't lost their faith. even in such a difficult time. Fortunately, he finds an old man there who knows where Ferreira can be found. He says that they last saw Ferreira in Nagasaki, where all the Christians are taken. Sebastião sees that the villagers needed small things to keep their faith strong, so they could stay brave. After that, he gives the villagers crosses made of husk and one bead each from his rosary. Everyone's happiness knew no bounds when they got these. He calls Kichijiro to him to give him a bead too, but Kichijiro runs away instead of coming to him because he considers himself the biggest sinner and feels like Jesus will never forgive him. Sebastião realizes that Kichijiro needed the most help, so he goes to him and tells him to confess his sins. Kichijiro starts crying while he's confessing, which shows how much deep sorrow he'd held inside for years. On the other side, we see an old man who was caught by some Japanese people. These are the same people who work to clean up the Christians in the village. Mokichi says that they pray in the temple of Buddha and also pay their taxes every year. So why are they doing this to them? That man says, "You all are good people, but I have a problem with those who still follow another religion secretly. We have a report that they are here." He takes a lot of silver coins out of his pocket and says that whoever gives information about them will get these coins as a reward. And if he doesn't get any information in the next 3 days, he'll take 3 more people with him, and one of them will be him. Now at night, everyone gathers again. Mokichi says that they'll give their lives, but won't let anything happen to the priests. Sebastião knows that if he stays here, the villagers will be killed one by one. So he decides to go to Kichijiro's village. But some people from his village who were there say that he shouldn't do that because it could put their lives in danger too. They'll find them today or tomorrow. Where will they go? Everyone starts fighting about this. After that, the old man tells the 2 of them to stay in this village. One man comes forward on his own and says that he'll be one of the 4 people that they'll take. Now there was just one more person needed, after which everyone tells Kichijiro to sacrifice himself. Kichijiro refuses at first, but in the end, he has to agree under everyone's pressure. The next day, preparations are made to send the 2 priests to a safe place. Mokichi and the 4 men were ready to give their lives, but Mokichi says, "What will we do if they still don't leave the villagers alone?" Sebastião says, "Then just do what they tell you to do. God will forgive you." However, Francisco stops him and tells Mokichi, "No, Mokichi, you can't just agree to everything they say. This will be wrong in the eyes of God." A little while later, those people return to the village. They put the picture of Jesus in front of them and tell them to step on it. Sebastião was hiding far away and watching all of them. The 4 villagers, for the safety of their village, put their hearts in their hands and step on that picture. However, that wasn't enough for them. They say, "We saw how fast you were breathing when you were stepping on the picture." After that, he takes out a cross and tells them to spit on it to prove that they aren't Christian. However, this time, no one does it except for Kichijiro because he was a coward. He spits on the cross and does everything he was told to do, after which he's set free. Now the rest of them are hung on a big cross and left there to die. As time passes, the waves of the sea rise, and at one point they get so high that every crash was like a whip on their bodies. First, the old man dies by drowning. After that, the other man also couldn't bear the pain for too long and died. In the end, it was only Mokichi who was left hanging there for the next 4 days. His body stiffens from hunger and thirst. Because of this, he also dies. So no one could give him a proper burial like they do in Christianity. They burn his body. And Sebastião and Francisco were watching all of this with their own eyes. For Sebastião, this was like experiencing hell in his lifetime. He was told that a person's death is never in vain. Jesus definitely listens to the prayers of those who are dying. But today, he was forced to ask himself if Jesus can hear the screams of the dying or not. Francisco felt like a coward on the inside. He tells Sebastião to go back, or else the villagers' lives will keep on being taken. But Sebastião was only going to return after finding Father Ferreira. Now the 2 of them separate. After that, Sebastião goes to Kichijiro's village alone. When he gets there, he sees that they had burned this village down, and now no one lives there. He tries very hard to find everyone, but he can't find anyone. In the end, tired and defeated, Sebastião falls asleep right there. The next morning, when he opens his eyes, he sees a fire burning in front of him. While walking, he faints and falls down. After that, Kichijiro picks him up and takes him to a safe place away from the village. He gives Sebastião something to eat, but Sebastião doesn't even want to eat a single bite from the hands of someone like him because he had insulted God. Kichijiro tells him to leave from there because his life was in danger here. However, Sebastião doesn't listen to him and keeps going on his journey. Soon, he starts feeling dizzy from thirst. Kichijiro goes to get water for him, but as soon as he comes back with water, he spills all of it on the ground. There was a river nearby. He takes Sebastião to that river. There, Sebastião drinks a lot of water. When he sees his face in the water, he starts laughing like a crazy person after seeing his condition. Soon we find out that Kichijiro had double-crossed Sebastião again because the Japanese people surround him. While they're taking him, those people give Kichijiro silver coins. But even now, he acts like he doesn't know anything. Now Sebastião is made to sit among the people who were caught. Looking at their faces, Sebastião angrily asks them, "How are you guys so calm?" But they don't answer his question because they felt like if they sacrificed for God, they would go to heaven. Soon the Inquisitor arrives, who was their leader. He tells them to take everyone away from there except Sebastião. He says, "We don't hate you. Just know that there is no place for your Jesus in Japan. We'll let you go too. Just agree that there is no such thing as God." Sebastião would have given his life, but would never do that. The Inquisitor knew this very well too. That's why he said, "We have learned a lot from our past mistakes. Killing you guys only makes your faith stronger. Well, if you are a good priest, you should feel pity for these poor people. Because of your arrogance, they're having to suffer so much pain." Sebastião was put in a cage where a man comes to meet him. This man's name is Asano, and he was going to work as a translator for Sebastião. He tells Sebastião to renounce his religion. Otherwise, these people will hang him upside down and squeeze every single drop of blood out of his body. While talking, he mentions Ferreira, who was also tortured in the same way. But he gave up his religion and now has a family of his own here. After this, Sebastião was tied up and paraded around the village. People throw stones at him and curse at him. After this, all of them are brought to the Inquisitor. They were very impressed by his courage to come here and didn't want him to go through any more pain. They say, "The religion that you people teach might be considered true in Portugal and Spain. But we've studied your religion very well and have come to the conclusion that this religion is useless here in Japan. Just like a tree that grows and flourishes in the soil of one country, but if you plant it in the soil of another country, it withers away. In the same way, your religion can't grow here in Japan." However, Sebastião doesn't agree with them. He says that there were more than 300,000 Christians here before, but you people killed them, tortured them, and forcefully converted them. Now the Inquisitor doesn't want to argue with him anymore. After that, they put him back in the cage. Now one day, Kichijiro comes to meet him. He says that he didn't double-cross them for money, but the guards beat him and lock him up too. Inside, all the prisoners explain to the priest not to trust this man. He has come to spy on them. But after all this, Sebastião still forgives Kichijiro. The next day, some Christians are taken out and are told to step on the picture of Jesus. Everyone was scared, but still, no one insulted Jesus. After that, the guards cut off a man's head, and he's buried right there. After this, they take out one more man whom they had been torturing for weeks. This man immediately steps on Jesus's picture, after which he is set free. In the evening, Sebastião is brought in front of the Inquisitor once again. The Inquisitor tells him the story of a man who had 4 wives. He says that all 4 of them were beautiful, but still, they used to fight a lot. And one day, the man, frustrated, kicked all 4 of them out of his palace, after which peace and happiness returned to his life. He asks for Sebastião's opinion and asks, "In your opinion, did that man do the right thing or not?" To this, Sebastião says that he did the right thing. He was definitely a smart man. The Inquisitor says, "Now think of that man as Japan, and those 4 wives as England, Spain, Holland, and Portugal. If we want to get rid of these countries from here, like those bickering wives, then what's wrong with that? If all 4 live together, only destruction will come. There is no place for outsiders in Japan." The next day, Sebastião sees that they are forcefully taking Christian girls with them. A little while later, he is also told to go with them. After that, he's taken to the seashore, where they were going to show him something. A little while later, Sebastião sees Francisco, whom these people had caught. They tie the girl's hands and feet and take them toward the deep water, and Francisco is told that if he renounces his religion, their lives will be saved. However, Francisco doesn't do that. After that, they throw those girls into the water. Francisco goes to them to save their lives, but they also drown him in the water and kill him. Sebastião is forced to stand far away and watch all of this, and when he starts crying his heart out, Asano says to him, "What kind of priest are you? You are letting these innocent people die for your own selfishness. Is this what your God wants?" That night, he cries a lot, and his mental state also starts to get worse. Now the next day, those people take him to a Buddhist temple where they had come to introduce him to a special person. There was a smile on Asano's face, as if he had been eagerly waiting for this day. A little while later, Ferreira comes there, whose appearance and walk have completely changed. Sebastião can't believe his eyes after seeing him because he had now become a Buddhist monk. There was a strange silence on Ferreira's face, as if he had suffered a lot. He gives confusing answers to Sebastião's questions and tries to show that he's very happy here. Asano tells Ferreira to talk about that book that he was working on. Here, Sebastião finds out that these people were making Ferreira write books against Christianity so that this religion can never grow in this country. Ferreira says, "I have preached Christianity here for more than 15 years, and now I have understood that there is no need for Jesus here. It's better that you also understand this soon." Asano says that no one should interfere in anyone's religion. This is Buddha's way. He never considered himself above a human being like your Jesus. When there's so much to share, one should never try to win alone, which is what only you are doing. Now Ferreira tells him that if you don't listen to what they say, they will make a small cut on your neck, and you will be hung upside down until every single drop of blood drips from your body. They did the same thing with me. Through a flashback, we are shown the day when Ferreira stepped on the picture of Jesus, which completely broke him from the inside. However, Asano tells Sebastião that you are the last priest of Japan. That's why we won't do anything like that to you. Our ways have changed a little now. Instead, they will torture the Christians here, and this will be done until Sebastião renounces his religion. The next day, Sebastião is taken to the Inquisitor's house. On the way, people throw stones at him. Asano says, "Look, you came for these people, and they hate you." Now at night, Sebastião hears the screams of people, which pierce his ears like needles. A little while later, Ferreira comes there and says, "These words that you are seeing on this wall were written by me when I was also kept in this jail in your place." He says that if you want to pray to God, you can, but pray with your eyes open. Sebastião sees that 5 Christians are being bled to death while hanging upside down. Because of this, they were slowly going to their death. Sebastião tells all of them to give up Christianity, but Ferreira tells him that they have already done this. They are only being tortured because of you. Listen to what they say and give up Christianity. If Jesus was in your place, he would also do this. Saying this, Ferreira puts the picture of Jesus in front of him. Now everyone's eyes were on him to see what he would do. Sebastião looks at Jesus and he hears a voice, "Me." In the end, Sebastião's courage breaks and he steps on him. As soon as he does this, Asano gives the orders to release everyone, after which everyone is set free. Now we see Sebastião, who has taken the form of a Buddhist monk. Children make fun of him, but now he had stopped feeling anything. He was the last priest to come to Japan. After this, the church didn't send any priest to Japan for the next 250 years. Sebastião's job was not to let any religious, especially Christian, things from outsiders enter the country. Only the Dutch and Europeans were allowed to trade in Japan. We see a man here who was witnessing all of this. Soon Ferreira also dies. After that, Sebastião had to handle all the responsibilities. One day, the Inquisitor calls Sebastião to him and tells him that a Japanese man has died somewhere far away. He has a wife, a son, and a maid. From today, you will live in Japan with his name and his identity, and his wife is now your wife. He also tells him that they have left some Christians in the village so that he feels good. In this way, years pass, and Sebastião is now old. The Japanese people would make him step on the picture of Jesus every few months so that his faith doesn't return again. We see Kichijiro, who still hadn't left Sebastião's side. However, one day he is caught with a religious picture with him, after which he is never seen again. Sebastião also died in 1662. It is said that not a single tear fell from his wife's eyes at his death. A man who was once Sebastião, in the end, became exactly the way they wanted him to be. In the end, Sebastião's body is properly cremated with Buddhist rituals. We see a cross in his hand, which he had kept hidden from everyone for years, which burned with him and became a mystery. With this true story ends right here. I hope you liked this movie. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.